Welcome sa ating channel. We are here to talk about the Maibenben X658. And yes, it's good to be back here in our channel para pag-usapan ang isa sa mga laptop that is quite bang for the buck sa ating previous review. The P748 was reviewed here in this channel last year, mga mid-year siguro last year. Now it's followed by this Maibenben X658 with a better specification on paper. And yan yung aalamin natin if it's really performing well. Pero other than that, what are the things why I consider to accept this review of the X658? Actually, requested video po ito, kaya kikilitis natin ang X658 and also, going back, is Maibenben a good brand of gaming laptop? Now, with that being said, for more videos like this, feel free to subscribe.
This video is brought to you by SCDKey, the best website that you may visit in terms of very affordable deals and best offer para sa application softwares, games, and yes, operating system. And there you are, you may check the Windows 10 Pro, and by using our promo code, ma-avail mo lang siya ng around $14.95 or 700 plus pesos. That's it mga kaibigan, check the description below. May mga links po tayo dyan to go directly sa kanilang website.
Now, before we'll talk about the specification, about the physical attributes of this gaming laptop, and of course, the benchmark or the performance of this laptop, let's talk about first about the Maibenben branding. Maibenben is explained sa ating previous video that they are quite related sa XMG na mas napapansin natin sa mga international tech reviewers na nire-review nila. Pero in fact, yun nga po, XMG and Maibenben are just from one manufacturer. That is Tongfang. Pero I'm not trying to confirm in here that all of the lineup ng Maibenben and all of the lineup of XMG are from Tongfang. There is a possibility that they are also outsourcing from other OEM brands. Pero that is very familiar with other PC components like power supply. Back then, FSP or Superflower, they manufacture, vice versa, other mainstream brands power supply. Like the power supply of EVGA was manufactured by another OEM brand. So same with this, with the Maibenben brand, ganun din po yung nangyayari. Now, why I'm trying to explain this first before we talk about this laptop? Because sometimes we are skeptical pagdating sa brand dahil nga hindi tayo ganun ka-familiar. Like, of course, we have this brand like Acer, Lenovo, MSI. Pero if we only know how this laptop performs and at the same time, what is the OEM of this laptop, especially that you are very familiar pagdating sa mga international tech reviewers that they are always featuring the XMG laptop, then you will have at least a bit more of an idea na, okay, let me check on this. I think medyo nagain mo yung trust ko ng konti since nasabi mo nga na Tongfang OEM siya, which is the same kay XMG. Now, I'm not trying to convince you guys to like this laptop. Of course, in the end of the day, it's up to you after you will check the review or after I will show you how this laptop performs. Now, let's go back sa ating Maibenben X658. Tama ba? X658. Well, sometimes sobrang nalilito na rin tayo kasi sa sobrang dami nating pinafamiliarize na laptops. Especially that in our previous video, nakita nyo naman siguro when we try to say na comeback na ito. Pero ayun nga, na-COVID pa rin tayo after. Kaya medyo natagalan ulit before tayo nakapag-feature ng ating next review. X658, we have here the Maibenben. Now, upon checking the laptop, the physical attributes, syempre yun ang una natin makikita. And at first look, it's really cool pagdating sa mga guys out there who are into this kind of design, edgy, aggressive, or kind of a sports car inspired design. Maganda yung kanyang rear, parang rear ng sports car. And it's also something that caught my attention when I powered on this laptop dahil umiilaw din pala yung kanyang exhaust. Medyo plain nga lang yung kanyang mismong screen cover, and then at the same time dito sa mismong part ng keyboard, very minimalist lang siya. Pero after you flip it and makikita mo yung kanyang bottom panel, makikita mo rin dito na sobrang ganda ng kanyang airflow or yung kanyang ventilation design. So, maganda ba? Okay, maganda nga. The reason why I said maganda siya, dahil for me, mas maganda yung ganito na meron siyang mesh na diretso kaysa magkakaroon siya ng plastic na mayroong vent holes na sometimes hindi siya consistent all throughout the part kung saan nakatapat yung mismong cooling system, especially the heatsinks. And with this, nagawa nilang consistent from end to end. And that is something that is really very, very important, especially pagdating sa gaming laptops. Because Ito nga, kadalasan pinag-uusapan natin is, ang gaming laptop is powerful, pero sometimes it's throttling. Why? Because of the cooling system. Poor implementation of cooling system will make a gaming laptop useless or will not perform at the maximum potential once the cooling system is poorly designed. And that is something that we appreciate in here pagdating sa ating Maibenben's X658 out of the box. Pero, what if we will try to uncover or buksan natin yung mismong kanyang bottom cover? Dito natin makikita ngayon na yes, there you have a very beefy looking heatsink, and it's really something that is good enough to support that Ryzen 9 processor with an RTX 3060 video card. This is a laptop that is designed better for those guys into production. The Ryzen 9 processor and RTX 3060. RTX 3060 is kinda sweet spot kung architect ka or into 3D rendering ka. And the Ryzen 9 is a very good processor, especially kung into production ka. Pero syempre, kung into gaming ka, I think I prefer to go for at least Ryzen 7 na lang or i7 and a higher video card like RTX 3070. Pero eto nga, this is a laptop that you can have if in general ang panggagamitan mo. Like you are into gaming at the same time into production. Now that you have an idea pagdating sa kanyang physical features at the same time design, exterior at saka interior, let's find out if this is really performing well. Design can be justified by having a benchmark. And ang ginawa natin ngayon is temperature benchmark muna before we'll do the gaming and the production stuff. And makikita nyo po dito that when we do the idle 64 100% load for 30 minutes, you have only 84 degrees Celsius CPU temperature average. The average temperature of that CPU, Ryzen 9, in a gaming laptop. And that is a Ryzen 9 na high-powered. Hindi po siya low-power mobile processor ng Ryzen 9. It is 5900HX. And at the same time, it is partnered with RTX 3060. Imagine that 84 degrees Celsius. During the part of benchmarking, we also encountered a throttle. Pero yun nga, saglit lang po yun. All throughout the benchmark ng temperature, makikita nyo po dyan that the average na nakuha po natin is 84 degrees Celsius. Now, moving on sa ating production, which is the main recommendation for this gaming laptop. Pagdating sa mga engineers, designers, video editors, and photo editors, uunahin muna natin ang kanyang Photoshop performance. And there you have the numbers. That Photoshop performance is almost the same with those desktop that we can avail at a 60K plus pricing. So this laptop is at a price tag of 70K plus. And you have the portability and is still performing almost on par with those desktop. So that is not bad performance for the Photoshop users who are eyeing to have this gaming laptop. At the same time, pagdating naman sa video editing, it's quite sakto lang or somehow 50-50, subjective for some. Pero yun nga, the benchmark pagdating sa ating Premiere is hindi ganun kataas pero good enough to accept that this is a decent laptop to consider kung gagamitin nyo itong laptop for SDE. Especially that the temperature is so good. Yung temperature kasi ang isa sa mga malaking factor that may slow down your workflow, especially kung into SDE ka, na bigla na lang mag-shut off yung laptop or maghahang dahil nga sa mataas na temperature. Sometimes it's hassle naman na magdala ng notebook cooler, or sometimes it's also a hassle kung at the mid of the rendering process is biglang nag-crash yung laptop. So that is something that we can assure if you are into video editing. This is still a very good laptop. If you will try to compare yung kanyang score with other desktop benchmarks that we have done before, it's decent enough or good enough to consider this laptop. Now moving on to those users that I may recommend should have this gaming laptop, engineers and architects. The heaviest project that you may have is to have a Lumion project. And this laptop managed to render it in 3 hours. Consistent in 3 hours, no problem, hindi po siya nag-crash, tuloy-tuloy po. As you can see with the data, more than 3 hours, consistently, nagpa-function yung kanyang GPU 100%, and we managed to finish the rendering of this project. So aside from those real-world performance, we also made some random test using different benchmark tool. Pero, of course, those gamers where this laptop is designed for, gaming laptop, how will it perform for those gamers? Here is the data. Makikita nyo dyan that it's also performing at a decent temperature with a very decent FPS. RTX 3060 and Ryzen 9. I know the Ryzen 9 processor may not give a big impact pagdating sa kanyang performance, especially that games doesn't take advantage the multi-core performance of Ryzen 9. Pero at least you can have there the data na very comfortable po ang ating RTX 3060 rendering those games and hindi po siya nababottleneck at the same time the temperature. So there you have the data, real-world data of how will this Maibenben X658 performs. And given the specification and the performance that this laptop have, we also observe that the screen is not compromised. Other laptops out there at a 70K plus pricing, kadalasan maganda nga yung specification, pangit yung screen. And this 2K display with a 100% sRGB, this is really something that shocked us when we are doing the testing. Kasi kadalasan talaga, we are not expecting much na pagdating sa screen. Pero this one, okay na specification, okay pa yung kanyang performance. At the same time, sa screen, hindi pa nila tinipid, hindi nila kinompromise. Everything is good with this laptop. But, yes, of course, there are still a lot of things that you may still reconsider na pag-usapan natin mamaya at the latter part of the video. Now, the bottom line of this, if you may ask, will I recommend this Maibenben X658 or not? For me, it's subjective. If you're a guy that is availing a laptop na kumbaga masusulit mo yung pinambili mo with a 70K plus pricing, it's a laptop that I may recommend 50-50. Yes, if you may ask me personally, I will choose this laptop over other gaming laptops at 70K plus more or less price point. Why? If I have 70K, I can only avail a mainstream brand laptop with a Ryzen 5 processor or Ryzen 7 processor or maybe i7 processor with an RTX 3060. And I doubt that I will have the RTX 3060 that we have in here. So yun po yung difference. Kung gusto mong masulit yung pinambili mo na 70K plus and you are aftering the specification and the power, kumbaga price to performance ratio, then Maibenben X658 is the go-to laptop for you. Now, as I have said earlier sa simula ng ating video, yes, we are a bit skeptical pagdating sa kanyang brand. Pero yun nga, the fact that you already know that XMG and Maibenben is related, that may adds up if you have trust issues pagdating sa mga new player sa ating Philippine or sa ating local market. Pero in the end of the day, there are still pros and cons. As I have said, spec sheet-wise, performance-wise, and price to performance, yes, this is a good laptop. The cons is still up to you. Subjective yung kanyang design. It's not for everyone. Yung kanyang brand, of course. The warranty, of course. Those are things that you may also try to consider if you are availing an electronic gadget. So it's up to you guys now to consider if this is a laptop that you may have. That's it, guys, and thank you so much.